What's up? Welcome back. Today I want to talk to you about my latest adventure to Barbados and the Sandals Barbados or the Royal Barbados. There are two there on the island of Barbados, but I want to give you my review and tell you some things that we did while we were there that was enjoyable and things that you may want to look out for. May help your trip be more enjoyable. So follow along and let me know what you think. I want to start the video out with a little context. So our trip was booked about 18 months in advance. We were staying at the Royal Barbados with three other couples. I totally think that your experience there at Royal Barbados or Barbados Sandals will totally be dictated by maybe what you're expecting from the vacation, who you're hanging out with, and probably the level of occupancy that the actual Barbados or Royal Barbados resort has at the time. And I'll loop that in. We were there, like I said, with three other couples, and after finding out that they were at 95% capacity. So I think depending on the time of year you go, that will depend on how much fun you're going to have based on level of service and other things. So just to provide a little context, again, we were there with three other couples, and they were at 95% capacity, and we were there in May. So that being said, I think everyone's going to start their trip the exact same way, and that is coming through the airport. The airport there does not have air conditioning, and it is 85 degrees in that airport, probably year-round, I would guess. But the shuttle was a short ride to the actual resort. It's only about 15 minutes. Very pleasurable experience. The man that drove our shuttle, informed us about local culture, things about the island. So that actual experience was very enjoyable. And it's only about a 15-minute ride. So some of the other resorts that you're going to go to, you might have an hour ride from the airport. This is not that situation. Just a short 15-minute ride down through Oyston and down to the actual resort. And that was a pretty enjoyable experience. Then you're going to go into where check-in. The check-in process, I would say they probably have it down pretty well. They did greet us very well. They gave us scented towels and actually some mimosa drinks. So that was a pretty awesome experience to start the actual the trip there at the Royal Barbados. Then you're supposed to set restaurant reservations if you haven't already. Now, some people say you can do this 2 weeks before. We tried that. That was not the case. You have to be on site in this instance, and we were told there were no reservations. So we came in on a Wednesday and left on a Sunday afternoon. So that totally, again, could dictate which day you get there as to which reservations, how big your party was. Now, we had 8 people, so I wasn't expecting much on that front, but we did tell them that we would break up and eat in twos, and they could just give us whatever reservations. Still no reservations, so even being a couple of two did not help in that instance. Now, after many phone calls and talking with our travel agent and other people, they did end up getting us a couple 8:30 at night reservations. For people that know me, I eat at 5 o'clock, so 8:30 was beyond the scope of when I like to eat, but that's not a problem. So what we ended up doing was ordering room service and just eating some appetizers, and then taking the 8:30 restaurant reservation. Now, the food on site, I'll tell you this: there's a couple places that I would definitely go back to. The restaurants that I would go back to personally, Soy, which was a sushi restaurant, and it's not that the sushi was the most amazing sushi in the world. It's the fact that the service was amazing there. I really enjoyed the The gentleman who was rolling the sushi was very, very friendly and took amazing care of us. I actually ended up eating there 2 nights. And I would definitely check that out. The other was, everybody's going to be crazy about this one. Probably going to be one of the harder restaurants to get into is Butch's. That is the steak restaurant. We did end up getting a reservation there. Again, it was one of our 8:30 meals at night. Now, as anywhere else, make sure you're wearing a collared shirt. They do enforce it in this restaurant. Some, they will be more lenient, but this one, they definitely do. The steak was awesome. The food was good. Service, as you're going to find out on the actual resort, the service will be hit or miss. So I would definitely bring some cash with me to tip the ones that I like. I did, and it did result in them taking pretty good care of me. And so a lot of other people have talked to, and I'm looking down, but I have my map from the actual resort there. And again, we stayed on Royal Barbados, but a lot of people said if you can't get into Butch's, check out Greenhouse. We went there for breakfast one morning, and again, the service that we ended up getting was very, 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 very slow. You're talking an hour and a half to eat breakfast. That is just too long. But they do make a really good steak, I've heard there. So check that out. I didn't end up eating it, but a lot of people have said it's pretty good. All right, let's talk about the experience of Barbados. And Wednesday night at actual Lover's Lane, there was a wine tasting, and I'll tell you, that was worth it, and I would definitely go back to that. It was a good experience. There was a couple wines paired with some different cheeses and things of that nature, and that was a fun experience. So if you can get in on that, I would definitely check that out. The other things that we did while we were there is me and some guys actually went and played the Barbados Golf Club. If you are a golf person, I would say don't expect too much and still go and check it out. But we had a good time just playing golf. It is definitely not a golf paradise by no means. Now, there is another country club further up, which we looked at playing, but it was apparently $300, and I just thought, I don't know, I'm renting clubs, that may not be worth it. But at Royal Barbados, at Barbados Golf Club, it was still about 150 American dollars, and but it was fun, and we had a good time. There were monkeys on the course, and it just made for a good experience. We had fun. Some parts of the course kind of run up next to the local, the local community there with some fences down and things of that nature. We actually were drinking some of their local beer, which is Banks, or Deputy is the light version, and a gentleman sold us some of his Banks beer. He had a stand set up in the woods next to the golf course, and sold us some of his Banks beer there. So, there is a little bit of the local community there. Now, on Fridays, they do the Oyston, or in the city of Oyston, I guess, in the parish right there next to the resort. There is a large fish fry. The entire community comes out for this, and a fun experience if you're wanting to get some of the local culture. Check that out. Some of the people took a jeep tour of the actual island. They were gone about 5-6 hours, but I definitely think that might be worth it if you wanted to check out the entire island. And so those are some of the fun things that you can do while you're there. And, outside of that, my experience was just wanting to float around in the water, swim in the infinity pool, and hang out with my friends. So I think, again, whatever you're expecting out of the trip is what you're going to get. And those are some of the fun things you should look at. Again, I would tell you, when on Barbados, if you're wanting to get off property or wherever you're looking to go, be careful. There are some nefarious characters roaming around. Actually, on property at the resort, right in front of the Barbados, one of our parties there was last name White, and a gentleman on the beach came running up saying White, and so I raised the hand. And no, he was not looking for white. He was selling white. So he did proposition us with a bag full of drugs, right there on property. So we obviously did not take him up on that, but that made for a very awkward engagement or encounter on the beach. Now, I'm not saying that that's happening every time, but just be aware that things like that can happen, and be mindful and careful. The overall experience, would I go back? I mean, it's not a return trip for me, but it was absolutely a blast, and I would definitely check it out one time for sure. Now, the other Sandals resorts, the staff is more friendly, but this one, we had a really good time. And again, the staff can be hit or miss, but go to a few places and check them out and see what you think. Find somebody that you like, and then I'm telling you, stick with them. Another one thing you're going to want to do is the lobby has a piano bar over at the actual Barbados Sandals, and that was a whole lot of fun from 10 to 12 at night, listening at the piano bar and singing and having a great time. So long story short is the trip is going to depend on the expectations you set and what you're looking for out of it. What we got out of it is pretty much what we wanted, and we had a blast. And I think that you just need to maybe know what level of occupancy they're going to be at to see how friendly they're going to be. I don't know. You tell me what your experience is. I hope this was helpful. If you want to shoot me a message below, I'll be certainly happy to answer any further questions that I may know about. And again, always like and subscribe these. It helps me out, and I hope you enjoy watching them, and I look forward to talking to you in the future.